Thank you.
So today our role is to make the first year's parents feel really comfortable with like sending their first years here and make their move in as easy as possible. So as soon as they pull up, we're gonna just unload the car without them even like thinking twice about it. That way they can just kind of move in their first year, and then they can just start like putting things on the wall, putting things in drawers. They don't have to worry about the heavy lifting that they already did to get it in the car. And I know a lot of parents are really nervous and they ask a lot of questions of us. So one last question about where to carry their things is a really big weight off their shoulders.
Then they jump right in. They don't want to waste any time. They don't want to give anyone downtime to feel homesick. So that's like kind of our most important job, is sort of to distract a little bit. So we'll jump right in, and we're going probably till
12
midnight tonight. Yeah, and it's super exhausting. So everyone falls asleep very quickly so that there's no time to lay in bed and feel homesick or whatever. So there's a lot of emphasis on spending time with your hall all the time, just to kind of, by the end of the week, you feel like you know each other really well.
You just feel so welcome, so at home. It's nothing that you expect when you show up to campus, because you think, oh my God, I'm going to be alone, I'm going to be apart from my family, and you show up and it's like a family that's there waiting for you.
It's a huge transition for every single person that goes through it. So you have the nerves, and you have kind of, you know, some people who are sad, some people who are happy, but as OAs, our job is to like adjust to that and be able to kind of connect with every single first year and their families to make them as comfortable as possible individually.
There is just no program where students feel so passionately like we, you know, haven't slept in 4 days and we're living on coffee and lollipops, and it's just this energy that's gone so far past sleep. It's
Sanity.
Like we are just thriving on delusion and balloons and blue and orange.
I feel like I'm kind of speaking for the group, but for a lot of us, we just had like such a great experience, and it made our transition so much easier, because what we really do is we also help get these kids like a support system on their hall and create like a really tight-knit community. And I know for me it meant so much, so to like help someone else through this rough period would just like mean the world.
You are just greeted by this storm of orange shirts. And I remember my first thought was, why in the world would any person volunteer to come back to school 10 days early to help with any of this and move in my stuff? And then as the year went on and the applications were sent out, I was like, of course I want to do this. Why? How could I not want to come to school early, not sleep for 5 days, just to make someone feel a little more welcome? So I am very excited to have had the opportunity. It absolutely changed my life. I feel like these are... So some orientation assistants start taking bags, and then another orientation assistant is in charge of introducing the students. So we say, hi, welcome to Bucknell, what's your name and where are you from? You know, and then we say, hi, and we absolutely scream, and we introduce that student to everyone that's around. So it's this huge burst of energy, and that kind of sets the tone for how the rest of orientation is gonna go.
I just want to scream and like embarrass myself and everyone. So that's what I've been doing this morning, and then before we were blowing up balloons to line the walkways. Like I drank a lot of coffee this morning, but now like I'm just keeping the energy the same amount and just not stopping at all. Like when I scream in their car, like they're automatically laughing, and I feel like if I make a fool of myself, then they won't feel as nervous, and they're like, oh well, this girl is like dancing and screaming, like I don't feel as weird anymore.
Here, you know, if you go in the cafeteria, there's banners set up, and they're all actually facing so that the first years, any angle they walk in, like they're always facing the first years. The balloons are all the same length. These are all the same length apart. All the strings are the same length. The balloons are the same sizes and diameter.
Extreme attention to detail. So one of the main things that we do that incorporates this vision of ours is the way that we set up the balloons every single year. So to us, it's the little things that are the biggest things to the parents when they're sending their kids off to college here. So not everyone may notice the precision of all the balloons and how they're all set up in a perfectly spaced out manner across every single staircase. But for those few families that do notice those details, it goes a long way, and it sends the message that all over campus here at Bucknell, we're paying attention to the little things, and we are making sure that everyone feels comfortable.
But if they didn't look perfect, people would notice. If they were all different heights, if they looked messy, it would be something that was really noticeable. So while it isn't great that like good details aren't noticed, bad details definitely are, and times 100.
Hey. Wait, 103A this way. Sorry.
I think it's going well, and I think people, I don't know, this is something people and parents definitely notice and appreciate. I've been wearing my watch and I'm keeping track, and I am on mile 6. I don't really have a perception of how many people are moved in, but I feel like we've moved a lot of people in, so hopefully we're near the end. But it's nice to see all the people with their families, learn about where they're coming from, and you know, get to see them kind of at the beginning of this transition.